Now due to the series feedback, what are the advantages I got? One is the bandwidth will increase and distortion will increase, वो सब छोड़ो. But look at this. My input impedance has gone up compared to before. And what was the input impedance before? I put this resistor. Remember equivalent circuit? Beta RE. Beta RE was the input impedance before the feedback. RE is equal to 25 milliampere, IC milliampere, and RE may be some few ohms. So beta may be 100. 100 into few ohms may be about 1 kilo ohm or 2 kilo ohm. Now let's see what happens. What is the input impedance of this? That RE which you had before small RE effectively is increased by this amount of RE. So the effective RE now will become RE plus capital RE. Beta times that will be now a very large value. If RE is 1 kilo ohm, for example, so 100 into 1 kilo ohm, beta into RE, so that will be about 100 kilo ohm. So from few kilo ohm input impedance, I have jacketed up to hundreds of kilo ohms for the signals. So by a simple technique like this, I have now been able to increase the input impedance by orders of magnitude. What happens if I take this V here, if this is my output, same circuit. Previous I took this output here, the output of proportional to current here, but this output is taken right here. So what is fed back? Basically the voltage is fed back, right? Output voltage is fed back. The same voltage is differencing in this. So what kind of connection is that? Input side is series connection. The output side is what a common parameter? V in both cases. So this is a shunt connection in the output side. So this corresponds to this connection. Because output voltage is same as the what is being fed as a voltage here. And the result of that is the input impedance will go up, as we said there, series connection. And what happens on this side? The output impedance will go down. So what does it mean? Now this circuit will behave almost like ideal VCVS. High input impedance, very low output impedance, and what is the gain here? Turns out to be in this case A is almost equal to 1, voltage gain. That is the natural parameter here. So the voltage gain here comes out to be approximately 1. Obviously it is very easy to see, because whatever the input voltage is coming here, so the output voltage must be almost same as the input voltage, so the gain must be equal to 1. So this is a unity gain ideal VCV, here ideal VCVS, so we call it a emitter follower. Emitter follows the input voltage. Just like your unity gain follower, this is emitter follower. So this is a connection for series shunt. Let's I do the following here. I put a resistance from here to here. What kind of feedback is this? Shunt, right? Current is being subtracted at the input side, and the voltage common parameter for the two networks on the other side. So this is a shunt connection. And shunt, what is the advantage? Shunt, input impedance goes down, output impedance also goes down. So, if you want to modify the amplifier such that the impedances are now low on both sides, this is the connection to give, right. I can do both. There is multiple feedback. That resistance is giving me shunt connection, this is giving me series connection, a series or whatever the where you take the output. If you take the output here, and we said that is this, the RE is now behaving as a series connection, and R this value, this resistance here RF, let us say, is giving you shunt feedback. Both of them will give you what? A double advantage in terms of bandwidth expansion. Both of them will give rise to bandwidth expansion. Both of them will give rise to improvement in nonlinearities. But both of them together are opposing each other in terms of impedances. This fellow will be increasing impedance on both sides. This fellow will decreasing impedance on both sides. So, depending upon which is larger than the other, the impedance can be adjusted according to the amount of shunt feedback to series feedback. Okay. So, the designer of feedback amplifier has this kind of toolbox available to him. By playing around with this proportionality, the values of the toolbox values, he can get all kinds of performances of this new feedback amplifier. Is it clear? One thing you must always remember is you can't go on playing whatever you want. At the end of the day, that amplifier must be stable. So, by doing all the gimmicks of multiple feedbacks, you must make sure that the network is still stable. So, that you can escape. So, how do you do that? What we said in the last class, either the Hurwitz test, Routh-Hurwitz criterion, or your Bode plots, or something you have to do to find out whether overall, after doing all the tricks of feedback, it still remains as a non-oscillating circuit. Okay. I will give you one more circuit which is popular circuit. All these are very popular in feedback theory. I will give you one more popular circuit. What kind of feedback you think this is?
Is that a Darlington connection, sir?
Hmm?
Is that a Darlington connection, sir?
No. Darlington doesn't have this. The common for the output and the feedback variable here is current, right? Output is proportional to the output current multiplied by resistance. This is this voltage here, feedback here is proportional to current here. So, the output side the parameter is current. Agreed? What about input side? Differentiating what? What is the differentiating parameter here? Differentiating variable here. The input current splits into this current and this current, which means the current split. So, input side variable is also current and output side variable is also a current. So, what is the configuration here? This one, right?